Well, yesterday was a little tough. I had my third losing day in a row. I promise I'm usually not this bad, but for some reason, maybe it's this week or I mean, it's 100% on me. It's regardless, but it is on me. I had my third losing day. It definitely hurts a little. I was going through my trades and I realized some of it, or again, 100% of it is my fault, but areas for me to improve on is definitely FOMO and patience. I know that I have the patience to wait for the higher time frame to get to my area of interest, but once it gets there, I'm too quick to jump the gun and try to execute a trade because I was waiting for hours. And so what I'm going to focus on today is once it's there, I need to wait for an entry pattern. And I realized in the previous videos, and even to myself, I never really identified what the entry pattern is, but something which I need to make sure I follow to a T is that liquidity absolutely needs to get swept. If no liquidity is swept, that means there's no trade. So I was looking at yesterday's trade in the PM session, the last trade I made. I was right in the direction, but I was wrong in my execution too early. And that's because I entered in and I was basically liquidity, because right after I entered, it took out my liquidity. It made the displacement candle. And then after it made the displacement, it went to my target. So what I need to do is when I see consolidation, I need to be out of the trade because that liquidity right below is going to get swept most likely, or I need to wait for it to get swept for creating a high probability trade if I'm bullish. After it creates a displacement candle, I should enter on a fair value gap or a order block or a bullish breaker. And those are my only entries. So basically wait for an area of interest on a higher time frame. Once it's there, I need to wait for liquidity to get swept. After that, I need to wait for a displacement candle. Then I could enter on the fair value gap, an order block, or mitigation or breaker block. And that's as simple as it should be. So I need to just make sure I follow that to a T. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. I'm learning how to trade, so none of this is financial advice. And even if I knew how to trade, this is not financial advice. I'm just here showing my journey so someone who's also along the path or someone who sees this years down the line can see where I was and maybe you could relate if you are going through the trading journey yourself. Before we jump into the charts, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let's jump into it. So looking at the weekly, we came up here. We still have one more day left. Today's Thursday, so not sure what to do with the weekly. The daily actually gapped up, which is good, and then came down, and it's actually closing in this gap. And so I need to adjust this New York midnight open time, which I will in a second. 4 hour came to the mean threshold of this, started going down. Maybe it's targeting the fair value gap down here. 1 hour created an order block right here. Could be a potential place to get short if I'm still bearish. The 15-minute, I was noticing this. Before I got on the charts, I was looking at it on my phone. There is an order block right here, this bearish order block. Price came right here, stopped at this, rejected, came down, and this is when I started looking at it. So I missed this move completely, but I did think that had possibility to go down. But by the time I got ready, got to the charts, missed this trade, and that's okay because I wasn't planning on trading too aggressively this morning session since I was up late last night. ICT says the best time to get short is above the New York midnight opening time, which was right up here. So we actually missed the short, so I don't know whether it's going to be a bearish day. I'm thinking it is because on the daily, if you notice, it came right to this bearish order block, and that's pretty significant since on the daily time frame. So it does look like it could potentially be bearish. I just don't know how low it'd go. Maybe it'll come to this bullish order block area right here, but I am not sure yet whether it's going to materialize today. That's it. So we'll check back in a little bit as we're hitting this order block. So taking a look at this at the 1 minute. So the 1 hour is right here at this order block, which is a good place for me to potentially get long. But right here, I see relative equal lows. This is where I got burned yesterday by entering in right here because I see this little, I would say a change in market structure. I'd see an order block, so I would enter here. I put a stop here, but this relative equal lows. This is where liquidity is. This is engineering liquidity. So what I'm looking for is the market to come, take out this liquidity, and then I need to see a major displacement bullish candle. After that, I can try to enter in long using a fair value gap or an order block or a breaker block or a mitigation block. Okay, so I may have missed it, but it's okay. I followed my plan and created a bunch of relative equal lows here, which is how I've gotten a lot of losses in the past. So it's okay. It goes to my profit target without me. I don't think I'm upset about it because I'm following my rules and my plan. And so as long as I do this, I consider this as a win. This might actually be a good target then for me to, if I get short somewhere up here, Actually, I want to get short on this hourly right here, but that's too much. There's a bunch of relative equal highs here, but I could get short right here on the 64.25 on the 15-minute. Put a stop right above that, but that's not following my plan because it's not sweeping liquidity. This is a trend continuation trade, which I haven't back tested enough, so I'm not going to trade it, but I am thinking that the price is going to come here, and then from there it may reject down lower and take out these relative equal lows. All right, looks like a good shorting opportunity right here on the fair value gap right here, the lower block. Get short right here on the 62.25. Take a look at that one, exactly where I thought it would. Came here, went right to this order block on the 15-minute, stopped right at close to main threshold, one a little bit above it, and didn't take out this liquidity, and that's why I did not enter. And I'm happy because I followed my rules again, and then came down and took out this sell side liquidity right here that I was looking at earlier on the 1 minute. So just gonna see where it wants to go. Maybe we're still bearish for the day. If so, I think the drawn liquidity is here on the 4 hour, the fair value gap right here. Yeah, I didn't partake in any of this. I'm trying to see, were there even any entry models even here? I don't think so. Maybe on the 15-second there was right here at 10 o'clock. Goes down, low, high. Yeah, this could have been an entry model right here on the 15-second, but I did not participate in it. And right now in the 4 hour, we are almost at the fair value gap. So this was the destination. Not sure where price wants to go now. Now we just wait and see. After this, maybe continue slower into this order block. Maybe we'll continue to these lows. I don't know. But once we're here, we just have to wait and see. Day trading's hard. That's why we're still fans of passive investing strategies. If you want to learn how to invest in the stock market passively and learn how to use options to increase your income while reducing your risk, we actually put together a free email mini course that will teach you to do exactly that. Just click the link below and come right back to this video. Happy learning. Okay, so I'm looking at the charts right now on the 15-second. I know I shouldn't be basing my trades off that, so let's start with the 4 hour. Here, we're right here at the CE of the fair value gap, which is good. 15-second is almost breaking above the structure. 1 minute's almost doing that. It did take out liquidity, but there's still a little. I'm not entering in yet, but I am looking for longs just because this may be a good place to enter long. And if I do enter long, I'm going to target the bottom of this candle right here at the 44.52 level. So I want to see how it reacts here. I need to see it take out liquidity after it manufactures some, and I need to see it displace. So I'm watching this more for, just my education, but we are, I guess, just pushing right through this. Maybe we'll stop here. I don't know where the drawn liquidity is. I just know it's down on the 4 hour, and I'm looking at the 5 minute right here. There is a order block which we could have entered in on right here, and I could have put my stop right above here, but I guess I need two different entry models, and this is where I'm struggling with. If we're in a range expansion like what's happening right now, market's going down, that should be a different entry pattern, such as using order blocks, but I guess I haven't back tested it enough to trust this, so that's why I didn't enter. But I saw this, I knew that this would be a valid entry. I would put a stop right up here, but I just did not feel comfortable with this, so decided not to enter this. But I do need to backtest this, so because I'm just not able to participate in any of this, right? Yesterday it went up, I didn't really participate. When it went down, I wasn't able to participate. So I do need another trading model for ranges, or sorry, for range expansions. Okay, so I'm taking a look at this. The 4 hour came right here. I still think it might potentially go a little bit lower, just a little bit to touch this order block right here, but we are on the 1 hour order block. We even hit this fair value gap a little. What I'm thinking on the 1 minute is it's creating relative equal lows, manufacturing liquidity. It may take out the liquidity. Then if it has a displacement candle above this, that is going to signify potential entry for me, because this right here is a bullish breaker. Enter here. There might be a fair value gap. Also, there might even be a bullish order block for me to enter on, and we will see how that goes. But we're getting close to an area of potential bullish pressure, some rejection area. So I'm learning from yesterday's mistake. This is exactly what happened. Create a bunch of relative equal lows, and this one people would be getting long, and a bunch of stops are underneath here. So it's like tempting, but no, I think there's a bunch of sell side here that needs to get swept, and I need to see a displacement, and that's when I would go ahead and get long. Okay, so I want to see how price reacts right here. It swept liquidity. Let's see if it goes higher, but I don't know. It's not. It's still just kind of chopping around. It's not as aggressive of a displacement as I would like to see. So still not a good entry for me right now. Maybe we'll go down a little bit more, and I need to really see it break structure. Is this more liquidity up here? So I don't think it's actually a good entry right now. Okay, so far I have not made any trades yet because the market's just been going down pretty much since open. So I wasn't able to participate in anything, which is okay. I am, it is lunchtime. It's 12 o'clock. I'm looking for the lunch macro. I want to see how this takes this out right here on the 1 minute. If it does, I may try to enter in long to take out this liquidity right here, about 15 handles. So I want to see how this goes. Looks like it also did hit the order block right here on the 1 hour. So it looks bullish. It broke structure, which is a good sign. Right here on the 15 second, it did sweep liquidity. There's a break in structure. It came into on this 15 second, this order block and this fair value gap, but I don't have an entry yet because I already missed this one right here. So it must be here. This might be the entry, 44.1175. Okay, so I got in. I'm going to target this right here, 44.2550. I don't know, maybe that was a bad trade. I used a market order. I told myself I wouldn't, but still did. And 30 got in at the top right here, which is a terrible entry, but it did break structure right here, which is a good sign, but it is on the 1 minute. And so we will see how this goes, because again, it is lunch macro time. That's kind of my entire investment thesis. And I am taking 4 handles of risk. So if I stop out, I think that's my daily loss because I only have about $300 of risk. So we will see how this goes. So we're back here. It looks bullish. It looks good. I feel good about it. Bunch of highs right here. So that's going to be my target. On the 5 minute highs, there's a fair value gap right before this order block. I think we're smooth sailing till here. So I'm trying to get out right here, which translates to, just take out all this liquidity. Trying to think maybe I should get out here, a few handles before that. Yeah, I want to see how price reacts right here. Then on the 5 minute, it looks more likely to come up here. Good. I'm glad I'm in this trade. If I hold it, looks like a good 3-yard trade. So this is good signs. Let's hope it actually comes and actually takes this guy out. I think this is a good exit for me. Yeah, taking a look right here. So far so good. So happy I'm in this trade right now. Looking at hindsight just to figure out better entry models. So I'm happy that it did take out this. So that showed that change in market structure. But I entered out of FOMO up here, which is not great. I know it's working out in my favor, but still not a good entry, and I need to recognize that. And a better entry would have been a little bit lower. This black and this green candle comes right to this order block right here, but if I put my limit there, I would have not gotten filled because it's exactly to the tick. So I should have done it probably at this one and just been okay with it. So on the 15 second, the reason why I entered market is because I thought just shoot up, but that again is FOMO. And so I need to, I guess I could have entered right here on this order block on the 15 second, but again, that just touches it. I would have not gotten filled. So I need if I'm using the 15 second, I should really aim for a tick or two above to make sure I get filled. I'm actually going to change my exit right here at this order block, this bearish order block, because I need to get a win, I think, emotionally and mentally. So I'm going to get out at 44.20. I mean, still a 2-hour trade, so I think that is a good exit. And just, if I can exit here, maybe I'll go higher, that's fine, but I think this is a good trade. Actually, I lowered my target to here to the 1850 level. Yeah, it's 1.5 R, but if I had entered better, it would have been a 3R. So that's something just I got to keep in mind. Entries matter. It really shapes your R multiples. So in the future, I should be aiming for better entries, but I guess I just didn't want to miss a trade. And yeah, so 1.47, it's okay. It may continue going higher. I think it wants to, but I'm just trying to exit, catch my win, because I think I need more of this as a emotional win. I mean, it's been 6-7 losses back to back. I haven't had a profitable trade yet, so I think that's why I'm trying to exit and just, I don't know, catch a win. Sometimes, you have to do that, and hopefully I think this one should go there. I mean, that's where the draw on liquidity is on the 5 minute. It's actually a little bit higher than that, but I'm using the 1 minute because this is how I got in trouble during the lunch macro a few days back, because I was targeting a 15-minute draw on liquidity. And because of that, I wasn't able to basically exit. I was up over $500-600, but I couldn't exit because I don't know if it was greedy, but it was my interpretation of the lunch macro was incorrect. And I thought it would go higher when I should have just taken the first easy target. So I'm doing that right here. Just a few more ticks, coming right into this order block. Because here I do see this giant fair value gap in the 1 hour. I do think price wants to go back up there. I can get an extra, a few more handles, but I'd rather not and just take the exit now before it retraces. Here we go, one more tick. So close. This is my favorite part, watching the end. Perfect, about time. Got a profitable trade, so $300. I mean, I'm happy. It was more of a emotionally charged exit. Maybe also logical, I don't know. I definitely did it for emotional reasons because I felt like I needed a win after losing so many trades back to back to back. But I think this was a logical exit. It wasn't just like, oh, it went up slightly, so let me take an exit. But I think this was a logical exit. But liquidity's up here, and this is usually, likely to get targeted. And right above that on the 1 hour is a fair value gap. So I think drawn liquidity is up here. And this would have been a good target for me just to hold till. But then I'd have to go through some drawdowns and all that. So it's okay. I am here to tape read mostly to learn. I know I can hold a little bit longer, but now that's hit this, it may go down a little. I don't know. I mean, we're still in a downtrend. So yeah, the 4 hour hit the CE, slightly less than the CE on this wick. And so we gotta watch out for that. We still have almost 2 hours for this to close. So this doesn't really mean anything yet. I'm happy I exited, and yeah, we'll check back in for the next trade. Honestly, I'm glad I took my profit right here because this is exactly what's happening, right? It's like I learned from the previous lunch macro where I got burned and didn't take my profit is I just need to find the low-hanging fruit and just take that. And I'm happy I did because I don't know, maybe we'll continue going down. Maybe it will stop here, go higher. But yeah, I'm just saying that I'm happy I took my profits when I did because looking at this, I'd be a little stressed, kind of annoyed. And so, yeah, note to self, just take the low-hanging fruit profits over and over again and just trade that. I'm just tape reading right now, not entering in, but I remember here I was a little spooked. Price came down, but of course, I exited right here, so I had no skin in the game. It was purely just like tape reading. Came down, broke through, and the bullish drawn liquidity is still right here, I think, on the 1 hour fair value gap. But yeah, I just didn't want to hold it, which is okay for this time. But ideally, as I get better mentally, psychologically, I need to learn to hold my trades, but I just needed a quick win. That's why I decided to exit at the lowest hanging fruit. But I think right here at the 25 would be a solid exit, or even at this order block in the 5 minute right here at the 28 level, and that actually goes right coincidentally at the 1 hour fair value gap. So I think honestly, this right here at 44.28 would be the best exit, but again, chose not to hold it just so I could have a happier mental clarity, at least, win one trade to give myself a little boost or a little success so I can keep going. So again, tape reading right here on the 15 minute, this could potentially be a propulsion block, right? There's a bullish order block, it's trading in, we still have 7 minutes or so for this to close. So once it closes down here, it could just explode up. There is some liquidity down here, but I don't know, it's not my trading model. I guess it did sweep down liquidity. I guess I could. No, I'm not going to trade this. I have one model and it works well. I think I just need to trade that one model, and that involves always a sweep of liquidity. Here, for some reason, I just can't trust order blocks, even though they've been pretty good for me. I'm also kind of like at a premium almost, or at least equilibrium, so it's a lower quality trade. It's like part of me wants to take it, but I'm not going to just because it doesn't fit my model. But I'm just here tape reading just to watch. I think it's gonna close here, and then it's gonna rocket ship up. Going back to the lunch macro, I got burned. I learned from it. I'm happy I exited when I did because look at that. It just came right back down. So I don't know. I'm happy I took that trade. I'm happy I exited at the low-hanging fruit right here, and VJ, good job. That's exactly what you need to do. So it doesn't matter, even if it continued going up, it doesn't matter. You exited, you made your profit. That's great. So keep doing that. All right, so what happened? It is 2 o'clock right now. The 4 hour closed right at the CE right here, which is a bullish sign. So I'm looking for bullish entry models right now. Low, high, higher, low. This, if it breaks above, this is a mitigation block. But I want to see if it takes out liquidity one last time, because on the 5 minute it is relatively equal, and same thing on the 15 minute. So I'm not entering in long yet, but the fact that this closed right at the CE is a good sign for bullish price action. So well, there we go. Let's see if there are any entries I could partake in, but I was just leaving these relatively equal lows. You know, I think I'm just going to tape read this because it's not my entry model. It's purely like I want to get in on the action, but there's still some liquidity here. But I guess it did sweep it, create a higher low to get this liquidity. Maybe it wants to go lower. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I'm not going to be trading this yet. Yeah, looking even at the 1 hour, it came right into this order block. So I am convinced we are bullish, but learning from yesterday, what I need to work on are my entries. And so I'm only looking for longs here. To enter, I need liquidity to get swept. And the reason why I didn't enter here is because it didn't explode through. It didn't really displace through this. If it did, I'd be like, okay, maybe I missed it. I could enter on this mitigation block right here, but because it just wicked above, I think, is this in a consolidation right now? I think it's going to come down, take out this relative equal lows first, and then it may go higher. So I don't know, we'll sit here, we'll watch and see what happens. Look at price right here, just accumulation, and then it's going to manipulate as in shoot down and then may expand. So waiting for this liquidity to get taken, and then I'm going to look for an entry model with the bullish displacement. And I think I'm going to target this right here, 44.28, as a draw on liquidity, which is also at the 5-minute order block. So I'm going to aim for that. All right, well, this is perfect. Basically, price just took out some liquidity. Now I want to see a displacement to the upside if I am bullish, and we will see what happens right now. Wow, yeah, it's really just going down. I don't know, I'm still bullish because of this body where it closed. The 4 hour closed right at the CE of this wick, and usually when candles form, it's gonna make a wick. So I think this might just be a wick and it may go up. I see some potential willingness for it to go up on the 1 minute. I'm gonna see what happens here. So even though here it does seem like a displacement, I'm not entering in long yet because on the 5 minute it just comes into the fair value gap. It's not really a strong bullish candle yet. I think there's possibility it may still continue going down unless, you know, comes takes this out. So I'm going to sit here and watch because I don't think this is a high probability entry, even though this does create a breaker block type of entry pattern. So old me would have entered a trade here thinking it's a break-in structure, but luckily I have these other larger time frames here. So if I did enter in long, this would be a low probability trade. So I'm waiting for to take out liquidity again because on the 5 minute just came into the fair value gap, kind of rejected. 15 minute couldn't even make it past the order block. So yeah, we're still, I think, going lower. I'm gonna wait for another liquidity to get swept and see if there's any possible long entries. Still looking. I feel like it's just the accumulation phase right now, and there's still a bunch of sell side liquidity here that was not swept, so no entry for me. If it goes up, I miss it, and that's fine, but I'm not entering until this gets swept. Also, I'm looking at the 1 minute, or sorry, the 1 hour. It closes in 2.5 minutes. I want to see how this guy closes. If it closes at mean threshold or higher, that's a great sign. If it closes below, we might be a little bit more bearish. Taking a look at the 1 hour, it actually closed right at the mean threshold or slightly above. So I think we are bullish here, and I want to target this fair value gap on the 1 hour right here. It may or may not actually reach that on the lower time frames. Where is that? So that is the 28 level. It's not too bad. It's actually just past this liquidity into this order block. So that might actually be a pretty good target, but I'm not entering in until, again, this liquidity is swept. So I'm looking at this. Looks like 1 minute is going up even more, or it could just be going to this order block in the 15 minutes. So that could be it. I'm not really sure, but still not taking a trade until the lows are swept. Okay, so taking a look at this, it took out the liquidity. It's still gone lower. On the 1 hour, it took out this liquidity as well. I was bullish with the 4 hour closing right here, but maybe this means nothing, or maybe this is all part of the wick taking out this liquidity to go back up. I don't know. Bodies tell the story, wicks do the damage, right? So I want to see what happens, but obviously I'm not entering long right now, but I'm looking for bullish entries just because it just continually takes out liquidity. There's still some more liquidity down here on the 1 hour. I'm not sure if that's trying to get targeted. It might be, but until there's an entry pattern, I am not trading long. Super interesting, just looking at the 1 day chart. Yesterday I mentioned something about, oh, it might hit the bearish order block on the 1 day, but yeah, literally right after close went hit it, and it's just like, it just darts down. So the 1 day drawn liquidity is I thought it was here, but it's pulling right through it. I want to see where the body is closed. So we still have an hour, 20 minutes till the day closes. We could be in for a whole bunch of bearish pain if it closes below the main threshold of this, but you know, if it closes at the open or the main threshold, we should be possibly bullish tomorrow. So I have no idea. All depends on where this guy closes. Also, this looks like a liquidity kind of wick. I like these wicks, so it's a good wick. I want to see break structure here. If it does, it might be a potentially good long, but I need to see some displacement. I don't know, maybe I'm trying to force a trade, so I'm gonna wait it out. Though it did take out sell set here, but there's still some more sell set here on the 1 hour, so because I'm not sure, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Okay, so the 1 hour just took out this liquidity right here, and yeah, next round liquidity, if it continues, could be the wick on this 4 hour, potentially, if it wants to continue, but we'll see how it rejects. Took out liquidity, I want to see it really displace and create a bullish entry pattern, but we will see. This is some pretty aggressive bearish candles, so came right to this new week opening gap, and yeah, took out the sell side right here on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, it's almost at the main threshold. I want to see how it reacts once it hits it. We only have about 12 minutes till the market closes, so maybe this might be it, right? I mean, I don't know if this is a low. The low is, yeah, literally at the main threshold right here. So, sorry, not main threshold, the CE of the wick. Yeah. So I'm looking for entry models here. I think candle came right to this main threshold. This needs to go up to here, the 408 level. I think the market may try to come up to here, possibly. I mean, that's just me being bullish, hoping for the daily to close on the main threshold, but it could be a little bit higher as well. And yeah, that's what happens, right? So may have missed the entry. I mean, I saw it right here into this order block. I thought this was the entry, but yeah, we'll just wait it out. Look at that. That's why I am glad I did not enter. I was tempted to just go long and enter on this 15-second, but I would have gotten stopped out. So this is, yeah, it's good. I'm happy. I'm just being more patient. I'm looking at potential entries, and some just don't fit the criteria, and I'm happy I have that, because otherwise this would be tough. Alright, well, it is 4 o'clock almost, and yeah, I made one trade for the day. I'm happy with that. It was a profitable trade. I'm done trading for the day. And yeah, I think what helped me a lot was just sticking with my rules, sticking with my plan. I feel better. I mean, I made that one trade. It was a bullish trade during an extremely bearish day. So I don't know. It's just, I think most of my winning trades are usually counter trend, because I can easily kind of find solid exit opportunities, which are usually bearish order blocks or something like that. And I was able to find that. So yeah, it was a good day. Yeah, I didn't partake in too many trades, and I think that was it. I try to keep my sniper mentality, only take the best quality setups. The lunch macro has been something that has been usually profitable for me, so I'm happy I took that trade. Thanks guys for watching, and reach out if you need anything, and really appreciate your support. Day trading's hard. That's why we're still fans of passive investing strategies. If you want to learn how to invest in the stock market while using options to increase your income while reducing your risk to ultimately help you retire early, we actually have a full course with a mastermind with group coaching and as a complete package. And because you made it to the end of the video, we actually have a 30% off coupon that you can use today so you can take advantage of your financial future. Just use the code VKYouTube at checkout at optionsellingsecrets.com/enroll now. Thanks for watching, and we hope you have a great day.